in my work, I help people to push boundaries, right? I help people to overcome fears, to really push through the limits that they're feeling, to do stuff that makes them feel awkward, that makes them feel scared, that might even feel wrong in a way. Now, why? Why would I get them to do this? Why would I get them to break their rules? Why would I get my clients to push themselves to a point where they're scared, they're vulnerable, they're feeling awkward, and they feel just a little bit wrong? Why would I do that? I'm going to give you, those of you on the line and those of you on the replay, a second to type in. Why do you think? Like, why would I do this? How could that help somebody? And while you type in, I'm going to tell you a little story. So, a few years ago when I moved to Sydney, my boyfriend was like, let's go rock climbing. And I was like, yeah, why not? So we went rock climbing, and I was at the top of one of the walls, and tears came into my eyes, and I was clinging on, and I was shaking, and I was so scared. I actually, despite the fact that I had a harness on, the fear was real, right? I was there, I was clinging onto the wall, and I was petrified. I had tears in my eyes, and I was like to him, I don't want to come down. Like, I was like stuck there. I didn't want to move. I couldn't climb up, I couldn't climb down. And he was like, it's okay, just come down. And I was so scared, and I couldn't believe it because I'd done rock climbing before. I wasn't like, I'm not scared of heights or anything like that, but I was up there and it was real, and it was really a shock to me. It was not something that I thought I was going to be scared of. And I've gone from that place of being so scared, and I could have just got the harness off my body at that point and just been like, rock climbing, I'm never going to do rock climbing again, ever. And now I'm at a point where I've rock climbed, not only in Australia, but I've rock climbed outdoors on cliffs in the Philippines, in Greece, did we go in Turkey? No, I don't know. In Cuba, in the Colombia. I even did bouldering a couple of months ago outdoors, where like no harness, no nothing. I just literally climbed up the side of a cliff. Now, how did I get from A to B? Like, what was in between there? It was choosing to, now that I'd found my limit, now that I'd found what I was scared of, choosing to pursue what I still wanted to do. Because I thought rock climbing was fun. That's why I went in the first place, right? I kept going. So every level of the way, like when I went from indoor rock climbing to outdoor rock climbing, I had the same thing happen where I was absolutely crapping my pants. I was at the top of the cliff going like, having tears in my eyes, being really, really scared, and like shaking and clinging on for dear life and feeling like I was going to drop to my death. And then I had it again with indoor bouldering, and then actually with outdoor bouldering, I don't know why I didn't have it. But it took me pushing those boundaries. Now, why did I push those boundaries? Because rock climbing was something that I really wanted to do. It was something that I wanted to incorporate in my lifestyle. I wanted to be the person who wasn't crapping their pants, who wasn't fighting back tears every time I climbed. I wanted to be the person who climbed and actually enjoyed it. Now, this is not only for people who want to do rock climbing or skydiving or those kinds of things. When I push people who are coaches, who are entrepreneurs, who are parents, to the point where they are scared, to the point where they feel like they're about to break, where they don't want to go forward, where it feels uncomfortable, where it feels awkward, and they just don't want to go any further. The reason that I get people to get across that line is because this is where we grow. This is where we redefine who we are and what our life's about. Who's here? Jethro. How you doing, man? This is where the magic happens. You've heard it before. You've heard it so many times before, that when you get out of the comfort zone, that's where you grow. It truly is. If you gave up because, falling over when you were walking, trying to walk instead of crawl was uncomfortable, you never would have got to the point of walking, right? If you gave up when you said words wrong and you mispronounced them as a toddler, then you wouldn't be speaking right now. We all push through. You get a new job, you feel really awkward, you don't know what's going on, you don't know where things are, you don't know any of the people, and you just keep going, right? And soon enough, you know exactly what you're doing, you become a master of your game, you know all the people in the office, and then you feel comfortable again. You redefine your own comfort zone. You redefine who you are and what you're capable of. And this is the thing that a lot of people do. They stop when they get to that boundary. They stop. And they go, not going to do it. Not going to go there. Right? And they never know what their life could really be like. They never know. Now, Jessie knows comfort zones. Jessie does direct sales. We work together in door-to-door sales. And oh my God, you've got to push your boundaries when you're there. You've got to push your boundaries when you're there. Now, what you do when you start to go through this and you start to become aware of where those boundaries are and where those fears lie is you open up awareness. And awareness brings choice. Because we can either go down the usual route of being like, whoa, no. Or we can choose another option, right? We can choose another way. Awareness brings so much choice, but a lot of people are actually just doing it unconsciously. They don't even choose it properly for themselves. They don't even go, oh no. They actually just automatically go, and they run the other way, right? Whereas if you stop and you go, ooh, this feels uncomfortable. You feel it in your body, right? You can probably think right now, take 2 seconds to think of a time where you've been really uncomfortable, right? You might have been in a dodgy laneway at nighttime, felt like it's a bit unsafe. You might have been doing something scary like bungee jumping or something like that. And you've got that fear and it's in your gut there and you're just like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. You might be like going up to a member of the opposite sex, trying to talk to them or get their number and you're like, oh, this is scary, I don't know what's going to happen here. And then you push through that and you're like, ah, it's done. Okay. And you feel it. But in feeling that, you can open up the awareness and you go, haha, here I am. Okay, what am I going to do? What am I actually made of? Am I going to go that way? Like a scaredy cat who never pushes the limits, who never changes their life, who never grows and expands who they are and what they are capable of and what their lifestyle includes? Or am I going to go the other way? Am I going to choose what I actually want? Past this thing that's only an emotion, only a physical, chemical thing going on in my body. That's all it is. And keep going for what I truly want in my life. Now, I talk about this and I talk about befriending your fears and building a healthy relationship with your discomfort in my book. Some of you have my book, some of you don't. It's called The World Is Yours, 8 Steps to Achieving Everything You Want. And this week, until, what do we got? We got a few more hours, guys. Until Sunday. Now, I didn't actually define a time zone. I've been all over the world in the last few months. So I'm actually going to extend it to like East Coast, like California time, let's say. In LA, when it hits midnight, Sunday night, and it ticks over into Monday, this is going to end. But for right now, if you download a copy of my book, all you got to do is comment below, yes please, I'll send you the link, you can get the book. You're also going into the draw for one of 5 breakthrough sessions. Now in these sessions, we're going to go into where you're at, what's holding you back, like maybe it's some of these things, maybe it's fears, maybe it's just excuses, whatever it is, we're going to get to the bottom of it and we're going to give you a place to launch forward from. So get in, comment below if you'd love to be in on that. And remember, guys, that you're creating absolutely everything in your life. It's possible for you to create anything that you can imagine, especially when you redefine your relationship with your fears and discomforts.